Chapter 3, Classroom Practices for Effective English Learner Instruction. Scaffolding, presented by Wendy Kopner, Amy Mendez, Crystal Cervantes, and Laura Bazadula. Let's get right into our short agenda. Scaffolding, what is it? We're going to introduce you to Lev Vygotsky in a short video. Scaffolding language acquisition, literacy scaffolds and some examples, and a useful scaffold triangle. So first, scaffolding, what is it? In the most basic terms, scaffolding is support to extend reach, task-oriented, and it is temporary. Now for a short video to introduce you to Lev Vygotsky.
Lev Vygotsky was a Russian developmental psychologist whose major contributions to the field and education occurred between the early 1920s and mid to late 1930s. While Vygotsky was only able to provide roughly a decade of work, his contributions are ever present in today's classrooms. As a developmental psychologist, Vygotsky focused a great deal on not only the development of children, but the learning processes involved with their development. According to Vygotsky, learning happens because we interact with the environment. Further, he believed that we do not learn because we have developed, rather, we develop because we have learned. In short, learning precedes development. Learning new things enhances our developmental level. However, in order to learn, we must be presented with tasks that are just out of reach of our present abilities. Tasks that are too simple or already within our present abilities do not promote learning. On the other hand, tasks that are too complex become frustrating and no learning occurs. Vygotsky believed that those tasks which are just beyond our present ability exist in what he called the zone of proximal development. The tasks in the zone of proximal development are the things we can almost do ourselves, but need help from others to accomplish. After receiving help from others, we will eventually be able to do them on our own, thus shifting them out of our zone of proximal development. In other words, we have learned something. Here is an example. Little Johnny cannot swim. If he tried to teach himself to swim, he would most likely drown. However, if Johnny enlists the help of a swimming instructor, he will soon be able to learn to swim. In this scenario, swimming would be considered to be within Johnny's zone of proximal development. Why? Because it is a task he cannot accomplish on his own, but he can accomplish with the encouragement and guidance from someone else. Okay, so how does the concept of the zone of proximal development factor into the roles of today's teachers? Simple. The subject matter that teachers are going to teach our students falls within their zone of proximal development. Our students are able to learn the content. They just need guidance and encouragement from a teacher in order to do so. As teachers, we must be conscious of the fact that every student has a different zone of proximal development. In modern educational jargon, this means differentiation. Educators must design lesson plans that cater to the zone of proximal development for each of their students in order to avoid boredom and or frustration in the classroom. The take-home message? Every student learns differently. But, more importantly, every student can learn. They just need the help of a teacher.
And now for learning about scaffolding language acquisition. So we're going to use routines as scaffolds, and basically it's for a lot of repetition. We use a roll call, group work schedules, transitions, and the behavior expectations we expect from the children. Those are part of our daily routines. We put a lot of time into those at the beginning of the year so that they know what to expect and what's coming. Those are daily routine models that we rely upon. Also, process writing that incorporates multiple embedded scaffolds such as topic generation, writing, revising, editing, and publishing. And also modeling these routines, they're just as critical and crucial for all students, not just our ELL students. But modeling the routines is basically going back into the daily routines and showing our students what we expect of them. So we're basically scaffolding language acquisition into our daily routines. Literacy scaffolding can be applied to reading and writing activities aimed at functional, meaningful communication. We also want to make use of language and discourse patterns that repeat themselves and are predictable. Literacy scaffolding can provide a model. also support students in comprehending and producing written language at a level slightly higher or beyond their own. Examples of literacy scaffolds would be interactive dialogue journals between the teacher and the student, reading and writing activities, and also readers' theater. Figure 3.10 on page 115 of our book is a model of a scaffolding instruction. This is a useful tool because it gives you a step-by-step process of how to use scaffolding, when and how to model it, how to provide guidance, when to pair them in groups, and eventually it goes to where students work independently. So it's a great tool to use doing your lesson plans. We'd like to thank you for your time and paying attention, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.